Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The show is about to begin.
Welcome to the podcast, concerts that made us, interviews and stories, tales from the bus. We love taking you back to when it all went down, the greatest live shows and the cheering crowd sound. It's concerts that made us, concertsthatmadeus.com.
This is Steve and Alex from The Wood.
And you're listening to Concerts That Made Us.
Feeling cold, sinking stone. Will you try to persist or resist the fool you become? Taking your time, turn off the light. Cause the pain with your stain on your brain shines through your eyes. Let it loose. Let it loose. Let it loose. Cause I'm hanging around just waiting for your fear to fall. Run away, becoming astray. Your complexity feeds on the need of what you feel that day. Never know, minds are bruised. The remorse of the talk that is left is now so confused. Let it loose. Let it loose. Let it loose. Cause I'm hanging around just waiting for your fear to fall. Stick to the line, but just remain inside. You can rub on the stone and happiness starts to cry. But give it the thrill, never know what the champagne spills. Discontent from the sands and the climb up the job uphill. Let it loose, let it loose, let it loose. I'm hanging around until the waiting for your fear to fall.
Steve and Alex, you're very welcome to Concerts That Made Us.
Thanks for asking us.
Cheers, thanks very much.
It's great now. I'm looking forward to diving into your music over the next bit. Now, on November 22nd, The Wood are releasing the debut album, Days. You've released two singles already, Let It Loose, which is very groovy, and Thornside Walk. What can we expect from the upcoming album?
It's all quite different to the two singles that were put out, really. We're kind of not really pigeonholed to a particular type of thing. So Let It Loose might suggest with this kind of groove funk band, and then you do Thornside Walk, and it's kind of a ballad. And the rest of the album, each song's got its own kind of personality, really. So hopefully there's a little bit in there for everybody. What do you reckon, Steve?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we don't try and be a thing, if you know what I mean. We just write songs as they come. So, as Alex said, they kind of all got their own character and personality. So yeah, it's difficult. It's that difficult question that I think every band finds, when they're asked, what do you sound like, or what genre are you fitting into? It's a really difficult kind of thing to answer,
Yeah, it's been quite tough actually, because when we're kind of getting this music out now and people are asking us what type of genre you're at, and it's really difficult to kind of pinpoint it into a particular sound, because it's so diverse, really. I mean, a lot of our influences, range from blues and jazz and folk and soul, and there's quite a lot of different things in there which have kind of made us what we are today. So yeah, it's tough, really. So I think you can definitely expect songs. Hopefully, I think real songs. So yeah, tough question, really.
Yeah. Well, we're both heavily influenced by what you'd term as a kind of the classic era, really, of songwriting, which I suppose is for us from the 60s through the 70s. And, not that it sounds like old songs, but that kind of idea of a song that you're going to remember.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think there's a lot of stuff now that does sound a bit samey and formula, if you know what I mean.
True. I totally get what you're saying though about, the songs sounding completely different. I listened to Let It Loose first, and I don't know, I was getting images of like something playing over a Starsky and Hutch episode in the 70s, And
We've had a
then
little bit of that,
It's
to be
funny you
honest.
saying that,
really,
was a well-known local Liverpool musician who thought we sound that song made us sound like he thought it should have been a theme tune to something like The Sopranos,
yeah.
which was great,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that as a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. And then you listen to Thornside Walk, and it's like something completely different. You nearly actually have to check, was it from the same band? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. As we say, we're not trying to be a particular type of thing. It's just the each song's different because it comes from a different place. And we just kind of write as we go, and whatever you're feeling that day, kind of we just kind of take it on, like, and then it takes its own course. Then.
I think as well, release their own stuff. I mean, it's different days now. It used to be all bands used to chase a record deal, and then once a record company was involved, they've got the problem of like, okay, how are we going to market this? So they needed to kind of pigeonhole a band in a way, to sort of sell them. Them restrictions on musicians now, I don't think, because a lot of stuff is self-released just by nature of there being no kind of funding, for unless it's for the real top 1% of musicians,
I suppose you still do get, bands being kind of pigeonholed though to being one thing. Would you say?
Yeah, obviously, clearly you do. But what I'm saying is you don't have to adhere to that
Yeah,
old model of traditional record labels.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So the shackles are off, really. You can write and release what you want without worrying about, someone else worrying about how they're going to sell it.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. To take that a step deeper, then, how do you think that correlates to fans? Do you think it makes it harder to get a fan base?
Well, I don't know, because I mean, we've had some reviews through for the first two singles, and people are kind of saying it reminds them of this and that, and different things, and it doesn't seem to be a problem, to be honest.
I don't think so either. I mean, as I said before, I kind of think that some of the songs that obviously people haven't heard yet, but I think there's a little bit there for everyone. You might think that certain bands are trying to be like an indie band, or a certain band are trying to be a funk band, but it's because it's so kind of diverse. I think people will kind of react differently to each song rather than like the whole piece as one, if you know what I mean.
True, true. The video for Let It Loose, it's very cool. Who came up with the premise for it?
I think it was kind of.
Well, you did, didn't you?
I said something about a boxing video, and we've done a couple of videos actually in the past, and it was kind of. I basically said a boxing video, or some type of sport video, something, maybe something with someone jogging or something like that, and then we kind of decided boxing was a good idea, and then rather than just do a boxing video, it was kind of like, but what if the boxer has got some issues, and then that kind of idea of, well, maybe he's got some type of demons in his head, and he's kind of fighting the demons off, so yeah, so we went down to this gym in Liverpool, in Garston in Liverpool, and fella kindly asked us, kindly let us use it, and it actually turned out better than originally thought, Steve. I don't know about you, but it was good fun making it. Like, we had a couple of friends helped us out, and
Yeah, and Jake Harrison, the boxer there, he's like an up and coming contender, if you like. He's a great young boxer.
yeah, he played the part really well. Like,
yeah, and he jumped in with both feet, and
yeah. No, it was good fun making it. It really was.
Yeah, but the song is kind of that struggle against outside pressures and stuff, and not letting things get to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that analogy of fighting demons.
Yeah, worked quite well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fitting, very fitting. And when you guys came up with the idea for doing the album, how different is the finished version from the original vision that you guys had?
Well, I mean, we've been writing songs for quite a while, and we've thrown a lot of songs away that have been good songs that kind of didn't fit for this album. I know we're saying like all the songs are different, but it does stand up as a collection, really. So we didn't mindfully set out to write a set of songs for an album. It was just we were writing songs, and the time seemed right to put an album out. So we just picked the ones that we kind of thought made a good collection, really.
Yeah. There's been a lot of songs. I mean, we've still got a lot of songs that people haven't heard, and there's going to be a lot of songs that are to come after this album.
Yeah, I mean, the second album's nearly finished now.
Yeah, we were literally talking about it yesterday and kind of getting a running order for the second album.
Which songs to leave off.
Which songs to leave off, and which songs would then come after that,
Yeah, but we're really proud of the second one.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the people to hear that one. Like.
Yeah, it's kind of, this has been such a long time coming, this. Some of Thornside Walk was actually one of the first songs me and Steve wrote together. And that was like nearly 12 years ago. A really long time. Like, so we only just released it now. There's been some complications on the way, and some of the reasons why we didn't release it. Obviously, COVID happened, and that was a big stumbling block. But and then it kind of, is one of some of them things where, you get a little bit precious over certain songs, and then you kind of, you kind of, I mean, Thornside Walk, we went back into it about a million times, didn't we? Like
Yeah.
trying to get the mix right and stuff. Um, and yeah, so you just kind of get a little bit precious over everything, like, but it doesn't matter much more now because we're here and it's coming out, and we hopefully this is the momentum now and we can just push on from this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of trying to get the mix right, was there any challenges or memorable moments you can share with us during recording and production?
But yeah, there's well a lot of our mixes are, well, certainly the likes of Thornside, and we've got another song on the record called Back to the Start. The really big productions, big arrangements.
Yeah, especially back to the start. That was a big job. That.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a lot of instrumentation on it, and a lot of backing vocals, and trying to just get the right balance, and trying to get it exciting, but also making things short, finding things being heard. You know, so yeah, say that the productions have kind of became quite large, like for a duo.
I mean, the process has been a bit different for us, really, as well, because we've both been getting on with other things along the way. And we've always written songs together is the main thing we've been doing. Um, and so you get to a point with the songs, something like those ones with the bigger kind of arrangements and production values we've just been talking about. You tend to like you shelve them for a bit, because you're writing other new stuff and that's exciting. And then you dive back in and you've got a kind of a different take, or you've got new ideas for them,
Yeah.
So it kind of comes to a point where you've got to draw a line under them and say, okay, well, look, that one's finished now.
Yeah.
We've got another 30 that we're working on. Let's get a bit of time as well,
Yeah, totally.
But so we're kind of at the point now where it's like, hang on, this is the main focus now. This is what we do. So as I say, the second album's nearly finished, and we've got most of the stuff written for the third album. So we're kind of really looking ahead and wanting to accelerate now.
You really don't hang around, do you? Geez, the third album
We're
already.
hanging around, but we're not now.
We hung around for too long, to be honest with you. So but now I think, as I say, we've hopefully got some momentum now. Certainly, putting Let It Loose out as a single was the start, really, of everyone hearing our music, and hopefully we can just keep it up.
And the feedback from what people have heard has been great, which is really encouraging as well. Really gives you helps with your impetus, if you like.
Totally, because that's just Steve just mentioned. Like it does give you a bit of encouragement, because I think because we've held on to these songs for so long. I mean, I don't know about Steve, but you doubt yourself a little bit, and you kind of think, will people like this? Instead of just going for it. But obviously it's been so long, and then them doubts start coming in your mind. But so it's been lovely, to be honest. The feedback that we've had, and as I say, after releasing these two singles, I'm really looking forward to putting the album out now and everyone hearing what we've got.
I'd say so. I'd say so. For any new listeners that maybe are unfamiliar, can you give us a bit of a brief history of The Wood, how you guys got together, the evolution towards bringing the album out?
Well, I work as like a producer. I've got a studio, and I first met Alex when he came in to do some recording, and I just thought it was the best voice I'd ever heard from around these parts, And originally, I was kind of going to manage him, and that evolved into songwriting, which seemed like a better option, to be honest. Yeah, so that's how we met.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. And yeah, we just started writing songs, really. And then, as I say, Thornside was one of the first things that we'd written. And then I think both of us kind of realised after that had happened that, well, there's something in this. And it kind of went on from there really, and we just started writing more and more and more together, and really thought that, this is different, and it's something worth pursuing. And me and Steve got a great relationship. We really get on together. Like, we really enjoy each other's company, which counts for a lot as well. And yeah, it just evolved from there really. And I say we work together every week. And it's good fun, and I think both of us can see that, and that's kind of, and
And it's funny, well, we have these kind of, if you like, deep philosophical
oh yeah, we
talks
go
sometimes.
there. Like,
That kind of gets into the songs,
yeah, totally. Yeah, we go there. Like, but I say it's important because it's all part of the journey that we're on, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's been nothing but fun, really. But I think, as I say, both of us have kind of realised that this is a little bit different from what you kind of hearing other people doing. Kind of just we purpose just want to see where it goes, really. Um, but more than anything, really, it's fun. We're having a good time doing it. Like, so, yeah.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing. I can't wait to see where it goes as well, because especially nowadays, it seems near impossible to come up with something fresh, something that doesn't sound like anyone else or anything you hear on the radio, It kind of gives you a bit more faith in the music world, I suppose.
Yeah, well, like I said before, I really think I don't want to be unfair to a lot of new musicians, but I mean, you get some great music coming out, but a lot of it's buried, and I think a lot of the stuff you get on the airwaves is kind of quite similar, Um, so yeah, it's important to do something fresh, I think.
I mean, I think it's so hard to try and be original or do something that no one's ever done before. I think the musical movement of the 60s and 70s is kind of, it's being done, but what I find that you can still be yourself, and you can write music that's true to you, and an expression of your personality, really. I think that's important, really, and I don't know if sometimes that might get lost these days. But I feel like that's something that we like to do. We kind of, writing from our, from us,
And live with the consequences.
Yeah.
And before we move on, is there any other tracks on the record besides the two singles that we should watch out for when it's released?
Well, apart from all of them, is I mean, yeah, they've all got their own story, really, I suppose, Steve, haven't they?
Yeah, I've got no favourites amongst my children.
Yeah, I think there's some songs now which have become a bit more poignant. Stay with me, I think now.
Yeah, there's a song there called "Stay with Me," which is it's an acoustic song. It's a kind of a gentle song, and people seem to be beaming in on that and saying it sounds familiar, and they really love it. So I don't know, maybe that one might stick out for some people.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right, the podcast is called Concerts That Made Us, so I have to ask you some concert-related questions if you don't mind. First off, as a concert goer, what concerts would you say have made you?
Well, I mean, I'm a big Glastonbury lover, like, so I've done a lot of Glastonbury festivals in my time. Seen some incredible acts there. More recently, the Paul McCartney and the Elton John years, they were fantastic. But me first every year, I remember I watched Kool and the Gang in Glastonbury and just being like blown away by the whole experience. Um, so, apart from, yeah, and then there was the Rolling Stones year and the Arctic Monkeys, that was fantastic as well. Um, I mean, as I say, it's hard really. Apart from them type of festival things, they're the only ones that really come to mind. I don't know about yourself, Steve.
I don't know. Well, every concert you go to is a unique experience, really, isn't it? And I've seen that many diverse kind of things over the years.
I mean, you saw Floyd and the Dark Side of the Moon tour.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
That
well,
was
the classic rock bands. I've seen Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, that kind of thing. Captain Beefheart, Neil Young. They all leave a mark on you.
yeah, totally.
I have to say, I'm incredibly jealous with that list.
It comes with
And
being well.
and you guys, you're in Liverpool. Can you give us some insights into what the scene is like in Liverpool at the moment? Because everyone knows, what it used to be. It has a rich history when it comes to music. But what's it like nowadays?
What I've noticed really now is that people are getting out more and watching bands again. I mean, I think, especially through the COVID thing, you had a lot of venues closing down and, people just got into the habit of not going out, I think, by necessity anyway at that time. But people are going out to gigs more. And there's a lot of local bands are pulling good crowds now as well, which is great to see. So, you know,
Yeah, it's such a shame. Steve just touched on it. Then a lot of great music venues in Liverpool has actually closed down over the past few years, last decade, whatever. Um, but there's still quite a lot of young people getting up and playing guitars, which is crazy, really, because it's still encouraged, even though there's still a lack of support, really.
yeah, it's something in amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always been people playing. I mean, Liverpool's only a small city, so the amount of musicians that are active,
Mm.
per square foot, if you like, it's it's always buzzing in one way or another.
hmm
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Now, I know you guys, you're primarily been in the studio. You've got a release show coming up. For any listeners that may be going to the release show, what can they expect? What are your shows going to be like?
Well, the last shows that we've been done, that we've done, we've done it acoustically with a couple of friends of ours, Matt Phillips and Dylan Roberts. And both got their own bands going on, but um, yeah, they've helped us out and previously with some of the gigs that we've got coming up. So I say, yeah, we've just kind of done all everything acoustically, but for this show, we're gonna step it up a little bit, and we've got some more people helping us out, and we're gonna do the first half of it acoustically with some string players, and then we've got a bassist and drumming in, so we can actually do a full band thing. But it's been quite hard for us to try and find a bassist and drummer.
Yeah, some of the stuff's quite tricky to play. It might sound simple, but especially for drummers, it's difficult stuff to nail. The grooves. So
we've had some fantastic people play on the records.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so the standards being set quite high, really. Like, so anybody who we've tried to get in, it's they're either busy or I didn't quite get it. But that's fine. Like, there's I'm sure hopefully we'll get there. Like, but we've got a guy coming in who's a real pro. Like, so he's going to help us on the night. Like, so yeah, it's going to be bigger than what we originally hoped, and
yeah. So yeah, like I said, first half's going to be acoustic with a string section, which would be nice. And then we've got a bass player and drummer coming on. So we've got Phil Murphy from Michael Head's band. He's going to be playing drums. And we've got Sam Toppin from Rian Downey's band playing bass.
Yeah.
So, quality players and great lads as well. So we're really looking forward to it.
Mm.
I like it. I like it. Now, if you guys think of shows from the past, is there one you would consider your favorite or a high point? And then the opposite, is there one you would consider the worst? Things went wrong and how did you overcome it?
The best one that we've done recently was we supported Michael Head in Leaf, actually, where we're playing, where we're launching the album. It was only a couple of months ago, a month or two ago.
A few weeks back, yeah.
But I really felt like it just felt great, but I felt like we made an impression big time. As soon as we kind of stepped onto the stage, everyone just like stopped talking and they all just watched us, and it was a packed house. Like there was a couple of hundred people there.
There's 300 people there. You kind of expect that while the support act's on, you're going to get talked over, and it was a bit spooky, really. Everyone looked at us.
Everyone looked and just stopped talking.
And we couldn't get away from the stage at the end of it. It's just everyone was stopping us.
It was lovely. It felt like we made a real impression.
It's really encouraging stuff, for moving forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jeez.
I mean, the worst one. I don't know about a worst one. We did this show a couple of months back, didn't we, in Stockport, and that was after PA was broke.
Yeah, PA was broke.
The monitors weren't working.
Didn't sound great on stage. Don't think it sounded that great out, like off stage as well. Like
Yeah, so that's a challenge, But again, we got great feedback, and you still enjoy playing. I don't know if we had a bad experience as such.
I wouldn't say so. No. Each experience has been different. You kind of learn, but I wouldn't say there's been an experience where it was a disaster, for example.
Good. Well, hopefully you can continue saying that.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
And when it comes to showtime, then what's your pre-show and your post-show? How do you like to psych yourselves up, and then afterwards, how do you like to wind down?
I've actually started, going to the gym the day of me, the show, kind of, doing a workout, exercising and getting a sauna and, melt for 15 minutes and then come out of it. But I feel like it's good for me head, and kind of focus a little bit and just kind of, it takes any stresses away a little bit. I still get nervous and stuff like that before I go on stage. But that's just because you care, really, and that's good. But I say, yeah, just try and eat clean and be healthy and that type of stuff. Like just kind of fuel my body with goodness, really, for me.
Yeah, it's just good to be doing things, really. I think because the run up to the show, time stretches.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're treading water till it's happening, and all of a sudden it accelerates just before you're about to play. And
yeah.
Hang on, have we sorted this?
Yeah. What song are we doing again?
Not too bad. Not too bad. So, and before we dive into the last couple of questions, then future plans that are set in stone. We've heard about the release show. We've heard about album 2 and 3. Is there anything else you can share with us?
Yeah, putting a band together and doing a lot more shows. That's the main thing, really.
Yes, for sure. We want to be out there all the time, really. I mean, it's been great being in the studio and having this time to kind of write and record, but we want to be getting out there. We want to be touring. We want to be playing shows. So yeah, definitely getting a band together and kind of accelerating on that, really.
I like it. Once you get it together, you'll have to hop on the ferry now and come across to Ireland for a show.
For sure. Would love to. Absolutely love to.
Yeah. Are you in Dublin?
Waterford.
Where's that?
Right down the south. Yeah, it's one of them ones you don't really know if you're not from Ireland.
Whereabouts that is? Sorry, Brian.
It's right down the south.
Is it?
Of the country. Yeah. down the tip. The sunny southeast, they call it, although I think that means we get sun about 2 days a year instead of one day.
Yeah. Well, it's not
I'd
much
ima-
better than you think, so, you know.
I was just going to say, I'd say Liverpool is very similar.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll dive into the last couple of questions. So there are a couple of fun random ones. First off, besides music and the band, what are you guys currently obsessed with?
Oh, good question. I've got a new obsession actually. Paddle, the sport paddle.
Oh,
See, I don't know if I think it might be the fastest growing sport in UK or Europe or the world. I'm not sure what the stats are, but yeah, that's a new thing that a new craze I've kind of got going on at the moment. So yeah, I've got the bug. So that's me. What yourself, Steve?
Me, my life's all music and family, really. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I've got kids. So yeah, that fills a lot of space.
I'd imagine. The next one, it's a bit strange. If you had to spend 24 hours locked in a room with any musician from history, who would it be?
Well, I mean, maybe one of the Beatles, like just to pick the brains a little bit,
Which one?
Well, it's a
You're
good
going George,
question.
aren't you?
I do, but like, they're all geniuses, aren't they? Really, like, but
Well, yeah, I've met McCartney a few times, so I'm not bothered about it.
yeah,
I'm going to go swinging between Jimi Hendrix and Joni Mitchell.
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, I'm going for.
Okay, I'll go
For the magic
I'll go
of it.
McCartney then. Yeah.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
Steve, I have to ask now because there is listeners wondering. You've met McCartney a couple of times. Is he how we would expect?
He's lovely, He's just nice.
He kind of, I mean, I don't know what you expect, Brian, but I've always expected McCartney to just be nice, and all
Yeah.
the videos and stuff that I've seen. He seems the switched on one, and he just seems just a normal fella, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Really, he's
You'd always kind of think he wasn't in the Beatles and he wasn't world famous because, as you said, he seems so normal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know him. Just met a couple of times. But he's just really nice and down to earth, I found,
Right. And the final question. What's your go-to album? An album you constantly revisit?
Well,
I'm going to say Azira by Joni Mitchell.
yeah, it's amazing. Like, I mean, what's going on? Marvin Gaye, probably.
I like it. I like it. Two great choices there. Listen, guys, this has been an absolute blast now. Thanks a million.
Thanks so much, Brian, for having us.
Thanks for asking us.
Our time has come, throw it where you can be. Blind in my hope, though he cries to see. Never can I feel this despair inside. Light of the woods, which lives are ripped by the summer's just laying. Nowhere to roam in this dark black hole. Burning increases and cheats my soul. How do I find all that it lows? Hell bells you may, you'll find no cause. All you feel is trouble and strife. Drag along the slack of a life. Take me from Thornside Walk. 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 Try as you may, you'll never succeed. The harder you try, no time to receive. The better times when life just goes on. Take me away to see all that's gone. Take me from Thornside Walk. 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 Take me from
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. And if you're interested in signing up to Band Builder Academy, use the link in the show notes below and enter the code CONCERTS and you'll receive 10% off. So, until next time, keep rocking. Hey, what are you guys still doing here? The show is over. It's over. You can go home. Go on. We'll see you next time. We'll be here. Bye.